Hi everyone, and welcome to today's Wildcard Wednesday, OEM Connected Car, Accelerate Your Transition. We will learn what it is and how you can gain faster access to data to improve your operations. No extra hardware, no installation. Let's learn how an OEM connected vehicle is the future. My name is Sue Miller, and I'm a Senior Program Manager here at Geotab and your host for today's expert session. So glad you could join us today, and we have a super turnout for attendance. So I'm really looking forward to your questions. Please put them in the question box and we'll make sure they get answered at the end of the presentation. So our subject matter experts today are Bobby Valentine, Business Development Manager for Connected Car, and Melissa Hoffman, Sales Manager for Connected Car. So Bobby and Melissa, please get us started.
Thanks, Susan. Good afternoon, good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining the OEM Connected Car Accelerate Your Transition session here today. We're excited to have you. The time is now as it relates to connected car and OEM telematics. So as we transition into this new era, we want to help you accelerate your transition and drive connected car through this relaunch. So we've got a couple of deliverables that we'd like to review with you today. We have a small polling session, so interaction and your feedback is really critical, as this target is one of the top 5 areas of emphasis within Geotab. Melissa?
Yes, thank you all for joining us today. Wanted to take a few moments to go over the connected car, the OEM connected car solution overview. As Bobby had mentioned, we have a poll for the OEM telematics in your fleet. Review the GM-N4. When we launched it a couple of years ago and where we're at today, there's been a lot of great improvements and enhancements, so I want to review some of those with you, and then the call to action and Q&A following the presentation. So what is the OEM telematics? OEM telematics is utilizing the OEM, so Ford, GM, for just to name a couple of the OEMs that we have today, embedded solution. So no hardware installed, no installation. It's all installed through the actual OEM and through the cloud servers. 82% of all vehicles manufactured in 2024 will have embedded telematics, so it really is the future. Geotab continues to be that fleet management leader globally. So #1 telematics provider for the past 2 years from the ABI research. Geotab's OEM telematics data platform takes the OEM, so whether it be heavy duty, light duty, or that yellow iron, all into one unified platform with your Go devices. In the safety and the security, the vetted platform, as well as data normalization. What are some of the benefits for your fleet? So no hardware cost, no installation cost, no vehicle downtime. That takes time and money out of your pockets as well, from them not being able to do jobs, and no tampering. So whether your driver is removing the hardware, the plug and play devices, or the mechanic when you're taking your vehicle to get serviced and they remove the hardware, you don't have to worry about that any longer. We actually have a few customers that have experienced this with thefts as well. When their vehicle is stolen, a lot of times, these crooks out there are taking out the plug and play devices because they know that most likely their vehicle is installed with some type of hardware. So there's no ability to remove that hardware as well because it's all through the OEM embedded solution. Very easy to activate over the air, just basically a flip of the switch, and then access to that rich proprietary data. And then 100% compatible, making sure that your whole complete fleet is compatible with the solution. A lot of our customers aren't aware that the OEM embedded telematics solution also integrates with camera providers. Safety being a huge #1 benefit with fleets, having the ability to integrate with some of our camera solutions would be a great addition and complement to the OEM embedded solution. So these are some of the partners with the cloud-based cameras that you can use today. We have many types of OEMs. We're going to mostly focus on the connected car side, so that class 1 to 5, light to medium duty, but we also have heavy truck, off-road, and tier 1 and software integrations as well. Some of our OEM partners today, we have Ford, GM, Elms. We have 3 more that we're getting ready to announce anytime. So hopefully in the next few weeks, you'll hear about those ones as well. And then our heavy duties, the Mack, the Volvo Internationals, off-road John Deere, Vermeer, Caterpillar, and then tier 1 Allison, Donaldson, Eaton, Bendix, Cummins, and much more. For your global fleets, if you have Ford, PSA, Mercedes-Benz, and EV Solutions, we have those as well. And Bobby?
Thanks, Melissa. So I wanted to review a couple of takeaways that Melissa touched base on for the solution overview. So today, ask yourself, what is your vehicle makeup? So within the number of vehicles that you have, how many of those vehicles are General Motors, model year 2015 plus? How many of those vehicles are Ford, model year 2019 or plus? So those are the magic numbers in regards to the OEM solution. Melissa will touch base a little bit more on that. Don't forget, 2024, 82% of all vehicles are going to be equipped with embedded telematics. So the dynamic is changing a little bit. OEM is definitely the future. So as you look at your fleet today, and you also look at your fleet down the road, what does that look like? And as you look at replenishing vehicles or moving vehicles in and out of your organization, are any of those vehicles going to be eligible for an OEM embedded solution? Are you using your Geotab reseller? Are you using Geotab to help you to strategize? So we've equipped our internal Geotabbers along with our resellers with an OEM connected car toolkit. And this was specifically designed to help you grow your business and to troubleshoot any issues or challenges that you might be having. We've spent some time internally here at Geotab, and we've selected some subject matter experts. Many of those are folks that you currently work with today. So utilize those subject matter experts just to have conversation, to talk about where you are with your fleet today, and then where you're trying to take that operationally within the next few years. And then don't forget, if you need to do some type of a proof of concept, we can help you with that with a free pilot. So we'll prove what we're saying here today does indeed work. Two things that I found that folks like you really want to have some clarification on, whether you're an owner of the business, whether you're C-level, whether you're management, finance, operations, or maybe if you're in charge of safety within your organization. Having a solution that's simple and easy from a fleet management perspective is critical. So all of your vehicles and all of your assets, whether you have Go 9s, older Go 7s or 8s, whether it's embedded, you'll be able to utilize one platform, so one single pane of glass that's very rich, it's very secure, to manage your vehicles. No hardware costs, so no out-of-pocket. No installation cost. It's also going to reduce some downtime. So we don't have to bring vehicles in to do an installation. And I'm sure everyone on the call has had some type of a situation where there's been some type of a tampering issue happening. And whether that's a foot bumping a unit and it not working, or whether that's someone taking the unit out of your vehicle because for whatever reason, they didn't want you to know where they were. So now you're 100% in control. So here's the first question that we'd like to know. Have you made a migration plan for 3G network shutdown? So as we're all aware, and most of us have lived through the 2G to 3G shutdown, we're getting close to a sunset here. So please select one of the following answers and submit.
Okay, thank you everybody for voting. I'm going to close the poll now and share the results. So 39% of you have said yes, you've made a migration plan, and 61% of you have said no.
So yeah, customers must be migrating these 4G devices. So the ability to upgrade those 3G devices to a 4G network can happen over the air. We have great tools that we can work with your resellers and the Geotab team to let you know which of your vehicles that you have today may qualify for that OEM embedded and get those upgraded and activated today. So again, no cost, easy upgrade. You could be upgraded this week utilizing the OEM embedded solution. So if you're interested in looking at that for your particular fleet, we can work with you and your reseller and validate your VINs and just make sure that those are equipped.
Awesome. So next question here. Do you have inventory coming in? So have you ordered new vehicles? Are they sitting somewhere waiting to be delivered to you? When will they be there? So if you have that new inventory coming in, select one, yes or no, and submit.
There is 73% of people that do have inventory coming in, and 27% answered no.
Wow, so OEM being that easy to activate solution would be a great option for you all, especially with the semiconductor and the chip shortage and hardware shortage. You don't have to wait for that hardware to be shipped to you. We can activate with OEM embedded solution as well. Again, no cost solution and a great easy option to get you activated right away without any downtime, without any loss of visibility for your fleet.
So the next question, would you like to try the OEM solution at no cost? Would you like to see the data firsthand in your database? Yes or no? Select one and hit submit, please.
So an overwhelming 97% said yes, and 3% said no.
Wow, 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 wow. That is fantastic. So yes, many of our OEM partners do have free pilot programs. It's a great opportunity to start using and testing that solution for the connected vehicle. Please reach out to your reseller, or you can also reach out to our team, oemld@geotab.com, to learn more. For example, if you have 2015 and newer GM vehicles with OnStar, they do not have to have a paid OnStar subscription. They just have to have OnStar equipped in the vehicle, or some 2019 and all 2020 and newer Fords will be equipped standard. But if you want to email even your VIN list to your reseller or to the oemld@geotab.com email distribution list, we can let you know right away if those vehicles are equipped, and we can get those activated for a free trial. We are offering up to 2 vehicles for fleets under 250, and fleets over 250 can qualify for 10 at no cost for 60 days. But please reach out to us.
Melissa, thanks. Wow, that was pretty exciting, especially when you look at the interests of folks that, one, don't have a plan. So why don't we have a plan, right? And two, when we look at the inventory shortages, is this something that can overcome that for you and your business? So obviously the future of OEM connected vehicle is right now today. And some of you that don't really have a plan put together, if you're just starting to think about it and you'd like to have your reseller or a Geotab person, maybe your partner account manager, reach out to you to help put together that strategy and that plan, we're here for you. Activating OEM qualified vehicles, it's a great way to upgrade your 3G units. So as some of you may have some older units in your vehicles, and as 3G continues we get closer to that 3G sunset, instead of paying for that hardware and instead of dealing with some installation costs, if you have qualified OEM vehicles through Ford and GM today and others down the road, we would love to help you to make that transition. Don't spend those unnecessary dollars. So I think we've all had to pivot a little bit here with these crazy times, and we're probably doing business a little bit differently today than we were 15 or 18 months ago. So no new hardware to pay for. No cost from an installation standpoint for any of you that are hiring professional installers to come out. Those VINs, based on those vehicles, we'll activate those immediately and help to set up those rules and those alerts so you can manage those assets properly. And like Melissa said, if you need proof, reach out to your reseller or your partner account manager within Geotab, and we'll send you this presentation, send those VINs to the OEMLD@geotab.com, and we'll help support that with a proof of concept for your Ford and GM eligible model year vehicles.
So here I just want to take a few minutes just to go through some of the key highlights for the Geotab integrated solution for GM. Again, it's the 2015 and newer all vehicles that are equipped with OnStar, no installation, and access to that GM data, all on the safety and security of the Geotab platform. Some of the key benefits. So we're following all the Geotab pillars, fleet optimization, safety, sustainability. GM is a lot further along than some OEMs when it comes to EV, but we have a very strong EV product with the GM embedded solution. It's continuing to get better. Expandability, so same access to those APIs and integrations that you're looking for, as well as compliance and productivity. Some of the key features, proprietary DTCs, built-in hardware, that in-cab feedback. So some customers, you guys might be utilizing in-cab driver feedback today. GM does offer an in-cab feedback in-vehicle coaching that has audible alerts to your drivers, whether it be hard braking, accelerating, or speeding over posted or over the max speed threshold. And it will actually play an audible alert every 15 seconds that your driver is breaking those rules and those exceptions. It's a great way to change that driver's behavior right away. Drivers aren't necessarily a fan of it, but we're doing it more for the safety of your fleet and your vehicles. So it has been a great tool that our fleets have started using. We're in beta test mode, but we are utilizing it today. But in October, we'll have the full launch with the UI available as well. Again, safety features and expandability as well to our marketplace partners. Today we only have one we actually have two now, GM Premium and a GM Premium with driver feedback plan with data-rich data sets and the 30-second ping rate. By the end of the year, we should have 3-second frequency from GM. So very exciting, getting a lot closer to what some customers use with the Go device, but it's very, very rich, great data. So exciting to say that 3 seconds is coming soon. The ability to terminate and reactivate anytime. So if you're having a time in your business when you need to deactivate them and turn them off, whether it be seasonal, you can do that just with the flip of the switch. And then also access to some events on trigger as well. So seatbelt, hard braking, acceleration, etc. So here you can see exactly what features are offered with the GM plan, as well as how it compares with the Go device and what you might be using today. Just wanted to share with you some of the GM data signals that we're getting today. Tire pressure status is huge, oil life remaining, really great data that we're getting directly from GM, as well as the DTCs. Some exciting coming soon features that we have for GM are going to be the increased frequency that I mentioned before at 3 seconds. We're also working with GM on an ELD solution, that full EV support, as well as DEF range. We're going to have the plan offered in Canada and Mexico as well, and we're also working with them for a basic plan. We also will have remote commands, theft alert notifications for those GM customers that do have an OnStar package as well through their fleet package. Those will be at no additional cost. And then pre-delivery. So start tracking your vehicle as it's leaving the factory until the point of delivery. So you no longer have to wait until it is marked at delivery when it gets delivered to your dealership or inside of your fleet. You can start tracking it sooner. Again, in-vehicle coaching, and then also helping support those customers that have less than 15 vehicles. Today, we can only support customers that have that fan. So a customer must have at least 15 vehicles to qualify for a fan, or have purchased 5 new vehicles in the past 12 months. In the very near future, in the next couple of months, we should have a non-fan option as well through GM that they're able to support. And then just some time going through some of the Ford documentation. So again, some 2019 and all 2020 and newer Fords will be equipped. Always recommend sending those VINs to the OEM LD at geotab.com just to validate if the vehicles are equipped. Some of the key benefits, same as the GM, fleet optimization, safety, sustainability, expandability, compliance, and productivity. Really hitting all of your key targets and benefits. With the proprietary data that we get with Ford, we actually have over 3,000 DTCs that we're able to get from them. We also have safety features, expandability, and then the built-in hardware. Ford offers 2 plans today. They have a basic plan that reports at ignition on and ignition off. It's a limited data set plan. You're going to get tire pressure, VIN, ignition, ODO, location, and if there was a collision event, you'd get that as well. But you're only going to get them at the time of ignition on and ignition off. There's no breadcrumb trail, but it's able to give you some visibility into your fleet if you're not necessarily needing it for the breadcrumb trail and the driver safety. Then we have the Ford Premium plan. The Ford Premium plan is going to give that extra data with the driver behavior and vehicle health as well. That is all on a 30-second ping rate, and then also some events at trigger. By the end of the year, we should have a 5-second increase frequency from Ford. So excited to have that. This is a sample of some of the data elements that we get today with Ford. And then some of the 3,000 DTCs that we get with Ford. Some of the coming soon items that we have are the increased frequency at the 5-second. ELD, we're very close with the ELD solution for Ford. Just doing some final internal testings here with Ford and Geotab, and then we'll be submitting that to the FMCSA for certification. We're also working closely with EV support, diesel support, and we've also been recently told that they are also working on a in-vehicle coaching that they should have available, probably more like Q1 of 2022.
So some key takeaways for Ford and GM. It's obviously simple and easy, right? One consolidated platform. So like I'd mentioned on one of the other slides, take a look at your vehicle makeup right now. And if you have some qualified vehicles that are under the Ford and GM umbrella, does it make sense to add those to an OEM embedded solution? You also have access to my Geotab, which I'm sure most of you are familiar with. If you have existing Geotab units, the platform is very powerful, it's very robust, and it's very customizable. Factory installed embedded equipment. So again, no install. You have no install for hardware. You've got improved safety focus with some of the vehicle driver coaching. So if you've had an incident or an issue in regards to maybe an at-fault accident, this could be an opportunity to help prevent that, or not so much prevent it, but reduce the opportunity for that to happen in the future. The embedded solution is going to continue to enhance, as Melissa had mentioned. So we work extremely close with all the different OEMs. And when you take a look at your plan, don't just look at Ford and GM. When you're going through and you're looking at your vehicles, especially some of those new vehicles that are on order, and if my memory is right here, I think 73% of the folks that are on this call have some type of new vehicles that are on order or that are coming in. Let's put those in a bucket, and when the time's right, let's talk about those opportunities also. And then GM and Ford will continue to have increased frequency. So the goal there is to make sure that that is brought down to that 3 to 5 second level by the end of the year. Feedback is critical. So as this is a continuous project that we have with all of the OEMs, we want this to be a continuous project with you. So if you have recommendations, you have ideas, or there's little roadblocks or blocks or bumps where we might be able to help reduce some of those, please reach out to us. Please reach out to your reseller and to the folks at Geotab to help. So a couple of the key takeaways. So if you look at the overall presentation, so the OEM embedded telematics is definitely the future, right? So know your resources. Know that your resellers are equipped with that toolkit that I had mentioned, and know that Geotab, it's one of our top priorities. If you need proof, 82% of those vehicles that are going to be manufactured by the year 2024 will have some type of an embedded telematics solution. Win competitive business, improve your P&L. How are you going to do that? There's no upfront equipment costs. So automatically, from a profitability standpoint, we're winning. There's no install cost. Use the OEM embedded solution to stand out from some of your competition. So I look through the list of folks that are attending the call, and those of you that are in the service business, how many of your customers would love to know when your vehicle leaves the shop and when it's going to get to their place of business to do whatever performing work you're doing? So separate yourself. And again, if we need proof, you've got that free proof of concept. So just a couple of takeaways. So where do we go from here? What are some of the call to actions that we need to do? Share the ideas that you have, share your thoughts, make sure your resellers and make sure that the Geotab partner account managers that support your resellers really understand what your OEM strategy is. And if you don't have one, reach out to those resellers to help you create one, or reach out to anyone on this call through the OEM LD mailbox that Melissa had reviewed. Take action on those 3G eligible vehicles. So as all wireless carriers will soon sunset their 3G networks, anyone that has a 3G unit is going to have to upgrade and move those to a 4G unit. If you don't want to purchase the hardware, or you don't want to deal with the installation, and OEM embedded makes sense, now's the time. So reach out today. Engage the OEM Telematics Connected Car team at the OEMLD@geotab.com, and no devices use the OEM embedded. So no device, let's use the OEM embedded, and let's move forward as we continue to drive business between now and the end of the year. Thank you so much for your time today.
Wow, thank you both for such great information. These are definitely exciting times that we live in. We do have some questions. First one is, which OEMs will Geotab be adding to their portfolio in the next 6 to 12 months?
Would love to publicly be able to say which ones those are. Right now, we are in those final stages of contracts and signing those. So hopefully in the next couple of weeks, we'll be able to announce them, but please be thinking like some of the top OEMs that we have here in North America, and you'd be going down the right path.
Okay. And I think you may have addressed this earlier, but let's ask it again. Will you be highlighting the differences between the OEM data and the Geotab data?
Yes, in this presentation, there's going to be a link in the Ford section, then also the GM section that will have a data comparison link that shows the Go device plans and then also the OEM plan, so the Ford and then also the GM. So those are in this deck as well.
Fantastic. Will the OEM provide the same data as the Geotab Go 9 device?
The data is going to be different. So we're not getting the data from the Go device, so it is different. We are able to access really rich diagnostics, and we are getting the safety data. I don't want to say it's going to be exactly the same because it's OEM to OEM how things go through. So I would recommend looking at those data set documents to see exactly all the great features that are offered.
Very good. Will GM be removing the fan process altogether?
They will have an option for non-fan customers, yes. They're working through the consent piece and how that will look right now, because right now that's basically how they are providing the consent to share the data. So they are working through that process right now. Hopefully in the next, I would say 60 days, we should have something for that.
Okay, great. Can you address what the model year compatibility is for GM?
It's going to be 2015 and newer if OnStar is equipped in the vehicle. Again, it does not need to be a paid OnStar subscription. It just has to have the OnStar, the blue button in the vehicle. So when you send the VIN list to the OEM LD at geotab.com, we can take that with GM, find out if that vehicle is equipped with OnStar, and then also if any type of action is needed, if it's not under the right fan, or if any kind of action that GM needs to do, or if a blue button key press from a driver needs to take place. Unfortunately, I could have the same GM model and vehicle as you, Susan, but my vehicle may not have OnStar because it was not ordered with OnStar and yours does. Yours would be the one equipped and mine would not.
Gotcha. There's a lot of layers to that. So here's an interesting question about OEMs that have the potential capabilities to join the Geotab OEM platform. How would they contact Geotab or resellers for that evaluation or participation?
We have a team that works very closely with the other OEMs out there that's actively working with many of the OEMs, to have that partnership together. And Sherry, I don't know if you have anything else you want to elaborate on that.
I would say if there's interest, if they just want to email, OEMLD@geotab.com, we can certainly get in touch and share more with you on that offline.
So will Geotab support blanket consent for fleets, meaning not having to submit documentation for each individual vehicle in my fleet that I intend to enroll?
That must be a Ford question. GM is a blanket based off of that fan. So that's really, that's great because 80% of customers, I believe GM has said, have already completed the terms and conditions once they're signing with OnStar. So all vehicles under that are a blanket, a consent. Ford is a little bit different. They are working through enhancements to make that easier, but today this is the process that we have. They do have to go in and provide consent. They can select all the VINs, so the last 12 months in the Ford portal would populate, and they can provide consent to all of those, and then also click the auto consent for future VINs as well. But anything older than 12 months that does not populate into their Ford portal for consent does need to be uploaded. And then if they can't verify it based off of the company name that the vehicle is under or other materials, they would ask for a proof of ownership, whether it be a registration, title, lease, or purchase agreement. It's for security purposes as well. So they are working on improvements and making that easier for customers, though.
Great. Any other major telematics competitors working with a similar strategy as Geotab?
There are other competitors that do have OEM partners. We know that the OEM is the future, so we are really heavily engaged with it, and we are very strategic and have fantastic relationships with these OEMs. We've been at, there's one more in 2 weeks in Phoenix, but we've been at a bunch of the GM Summit events, going through there with them. And then I think we're like as far as testing the increased frequency, they're hearing from our customers that that the increased frequency is important. So they're making strategic changes to their solution based off of the feedback that they're hearing from Geotab, our resellers, and our customers. So they do see Geotab as a valued partner in that aspect as well for feedback.
Very good. How easy is it to repair any issues with a vehicle's OnStar?
Any kind of issue with the embedded solution, whether it be the OnStar or whether it be the Ford embedded, it's all factory warranted through Ford or GM. They can go to the dealerships to get those fixed.
Could you walk through enrollment of vehicles in the My Geotab UI, or is there documentation that can be provided?
Yeah, so we have a reseller guide that will populate the complete steps. For example, for Ford, step 1 would be the customer was going to go through and provide consent on the Ford portal. So they would get access to that Ford portal and they would provide consent to each VIN. And now they would drop down and provide consent to Geotab. Once that's completed, the reseller takes over. You work with your reseller, let them know which vehicles you're looking to enroll, which VINs, and then they go into our backend solution and order that third-party serial number, and then they add that to My Geotab and then match that up with the VIN. They can, the description can be added as well. So it is 3 easy steps, and really the customer only needs to do step 1 to get those active. For GM, it's a little bit different. So customers, when we're doing the VIN validation, GM will let us know if the customer's already completed the terms and conditions. Again, they said probably 80% of customers have already completed terms and conditions. And then sometimes a customer may need to do a blue button key press on a particular vehicle. That comes back with the VIN validation as well. That's a vehicle by vehicle. Something may have timed out and might need to have that OnStar, woke up or whatever. Other than that, the reseller completes steps at getting that third-party serial number for the GM solution, adding it to My Geotab, including the fan for that kind of links the consent that was already done, and then the VIN, and that is it.
And the one other question as a follow-up, I think, is are the enrollments through Geotab for OEMs available via API?
Yes, it is. So the enrollment's coming from API, or once they're enrolled, they can take the data from the platform or from Ford and GM and data normalization through Geotab, and it can go through the API. We don't have an API, I don't believe, Sherry, you'd probably be better at talking about this, an API for auto enrollment. I'm not sure if that was the question.
We don't currently, but yes, once that's finalized with the OEM partners, that is something we should be able to bring to the API SDK.
Okay, great. I think this question here is also tied back to the repair issues with the OnStar. This question is, will Geotab help in diagnosing what issues the onboard telematics may be experiencing?
Yes, so if you are having an issue with the GM embedded solution at any point in time, utilizing your reseller, they can open up support tickets through Geotab as well. It's just the normal support ticket process, and then our support team will do some initial troubleshooting, find out where the issue falls, and then we would escalate it to GM as well.
Fantastic. A great presentation, lots of engagement from the audience. Thank you very much, and thank you again, Bobby and Melissa, for taking the time today and for sharing all of this information. So until next time, I'm Sue Miller, and on behalf of myself and everyone here at Geotab, thank you for joining us today. We'll see you all next time. Same Geotab time, same Geotab channel.